Well, welcome everybody. I probably know everyone, but just a few on this call. And I'm excited to share my half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it's going to be. But this is the second of three of our Zoom series that we are hosting. Today is an inside look, really, at the Berkeley Square, what it's like to live here and what the lifestyle is. My name, as you'd probably read, is Shelly Henderson. I'm the Senior Director of Sales for Berkeley Square in Westover. And it's a fancy term in the sense that I just help people learn about living here. That's what I do. and help people. I have the great honor to help people start their journey about learning about us. So today I am sharing my screens with my friend and longtime resident, Mrs. Pat Jonson. You're going to actually hear an interview with her shortly, and she'll be available today for a few questions. Pat is, I can't say enough how special she is in my life. Along the way, I've been here 11 years. You just have friendships that are strong or bonds that are strong. And I've never lost that with her, even though I move you in and I keep helping people. She just, I consider her my sister, and I'm so grateful she agreed to talk with you guys today. So Jon Frost, Mr. Jon Frost is also a staff member that is the Director of Resident Lifestyle. What does that mean? Lifestyle. All things fun, whether that's things that feed your soul, whether that's physically staying healthy, whether that's helping lead us through programs, and some people call them activities. John's gonna have a talk with us. So the way it's going to work, I don't see John. My little scrolly doesn't let me see him, but welcome Pat, welcome John, and thanks for giving up your half hour. All of you, thank you so much for showing an interest to get on this computer in the world of Zoom. And so I thought I'd start. It's hard for me because on this call, a lot of you already know this and many of you do not. So suffer with me through what is, the old term is called CCRC. What is a Berkeley Square? What is a Westover? What is a life plan community? A life plan community, these three things really are the highlights. Residential options at a life plan community are usually more than one layer. That means it has independent living, assisted living. In our case, particularly about Berkeley Square today, we have independent living, assisted living, skilled, and memory care. So your apartment life and homes, Berkeley Square in particular in Butler County has one of the largest independent living choices to have. So that's an exciting thing. And a lot of you heard us talking about our newest project, Harmony Drive. So the campus in general, I will share if you're new to us and new to me, the little commercial about Berkeley, as I call it, kind of our country mouse with the green grass, but it has 80 acres. It has a feel that is unlike any other neighborhood. It is not feeling like you drive through and feel like you are really at someplace commercial. You truly feel, and I think Pat and a few others could share it. It's home. It's home. Services and amenities, what you can expect in a life plan community is different at all of ours, but I'll highlight a few if this is your first visit with us. Maintenance-free living, it's one of the reasons my own mom was looking. I share that story a lot. That means you don't have to worry about your hot water heaters, your furnace, the gutters. Maintenance-free living means you sit and watch them put your mulch down. It's exciting. Other amenities, we are a walking community, and John's going to talk about this later, but what does that mean? There's walking paths, miles of walking paths throughout the community. We have dining options, and again, dining options here, and remember, we're also going to talk about COVID a little bit, but in our normal world, the coach house and our casual dining rooms, our pop-up food truck nights, dining options are exciting, and the coach house in particular, I know, is just a big favorite among the lifestyle of Berkeley Square. We have elements, and John too will speak about elements. An amenity of that is it's how you stay strong. It's how you plug in, whether that's yoga, whether that's line dancing, elements in the pool. I know I have a lot of pool fans. The pool is great for your joints. Those are services and amenities. I would be remiss without talking about a sidebar amenity. If you're new to us, Trips and Travel, we are the only life plan community that has a formal official Trips and Travel club. It is open to Butler County for people that are not here in a normal situation. Today we are just getting our buses going, so there will be limits. Trips and Travel means when we strategically sat down and said, when you retire, what do you want? Well, what do I want? What do I want? I want what you want. I want to travel the world. I want to see Greece. I want to see it all. And so uh, Nancy Fetters is on this call, and I am so honored and proud to talk about her because you feel like you're traveling with a friend. Nancy has been a longtime employee that plans these, just when I think 1 year's over, nothing else could come, she plans amazing things for you. That Trips and Travel has become such a heartbeat for all of us. She went to Hawaii a few years ago and took 50 people with her. She went to New York. She does day trips. She does happy hour on the road. I can't share enough about that unique opportunity at our life plan community. So I think I've hit it all. I mean, from elements to dining to maintenance-free living, those are most of the amenities you can enjoy at life care. And this could be something all of you are hearing for the first time new to us. A life plan community, a nonprofit, offers life care. And what does that mean? It really truly means that if you were to run out of money, you never have to move out. We have you. We have, as a company, we commit to every approved applicant. We will help take care of you the rest of your life. And I meet a lot of couples that maybe don't have kids or really don't want to bother they want their own plan in life. And so there's a security to me when I share with families about life care that is so reassuring. And I don't know, if any of the residents would ever comment on that, down the road, but life care is a very, very big part of nonprofits. Here we are. I know this is so fun. I haven't had lipstick on in 12 months behind these masks, so I couldn't be more excited. You, my new friends on the Zoom call. Pat and I, this past week, I actually have a model that is open by appointment for all of you to visit with us. She joined me in the model and we recorded, and we're not like movie stars, let me tell you, but we recorded a really sweet talk with her. Pat Jonson, what you're going to see, and I want to frame this up for her because she and I talked after COVID, like the rest of the world, we've had to adapt. And our spirit's still strong. The spirit of Berkeley, yes. Her neighbors still have a crush on her, yes. But like everyone, we've all had to adapt to life with COVID. So she is going to talk about, as a 10-year resident, you're going to see her talk about her experience. I helped her move in. I helped her really start enjoying life. And she couldn't be, I kid that she's our resident photographer because we all get so much joy out of Pat's pictures. So without further ado, I think we should play the video of Mrs. Pat Jonson. Hello, I am Shelly Henderson, and I am here for a talk with my Berkeley resident and sweet friend, Pat Jonson. So for people that don't know you and everybody watching, share how long you've been here and how you found us. How did this come about?
I've always seen Berkeley when I was younger here, and I thought that'd be neat and driving around, but my husband said, oh, that's all old people over there. So I knew he wasn't wanting to come. And then when his health got bad, I knew that I was going to have to find a place. And I came here to talk with you, and I tell you what, Shelley, you were the miracle in my life in Berkeley, because I don't know what I would have done without having found a place here. Because if I'd been on my own, I'd sell my house, I'd bought a condo, there I'd be stuck, because my husband, I went to see him while he was alive. He passed 7 years ago. But I'd go see him, but I mean, I had no friends really that I could call up and say, do you want to do something, because I need to be there. And when I got here and you helped me find, even decorate my home, I tell you, I felt such a relief, because the things that I had to go through selling my house by myself, but I didn't have to go through this here alone. I mean, you were there every step of the way, and I just couldn't have made it without you. And once I got in here and got settled, my husband lived with me for 16 months here, but as I said, he passed 7 years ago. But my life here, I mean, I can't imagine having lived anywhere else. And people I talked to that have tried and looked at other places, and I won't mention names, they said this is the place, because the layout is beautiful. I feel like I'm in a community, my own little community here.
Gosh, it makes me cry. You're so sweet. How many years ago was that?
I was 9.5 years ago that I moved here. I'll be 10 in November, 10 years in November. So this is my home, and this is where I want to be for the rest of my life. And I knew that I could just go from, I have to move in-house to an apartment. I mean, it's right here. I don't have to worry about my kids taking me, coming and taking care of me. They didn't have to worry about that. Sure. And that was real important to me.
So all my friends watching this program and don't know anything about Berkeley and maybe the term lifestyle and programs.
Shelly, you know that I've done everything practically here. I mean, it's not only here on campus, there's so many activities we can do. You could be busy all day, every day, just being involved with Berkeley. There's everything, like the trips. We have mystery lunch trips. We have mystery trips on buses. We go places even like I didn't go the one when they went to Hawaii, but I mean, just local trips. I mean, there are just so many things and so many people that come to talk, and musical events, book club. There are, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to think of everything. I just know, and I exercise. I miss that. Although during COVID, I've been pleased that they have these exercise classes on our in-house TV. So we can do those like we were in class. I mean, just right in the chair in front of my TV. Feels funny
a little bit. Doesn't it feel funny without everybody with you?
I like it better when we get to be back with people, because that's the whole thing. It gets you for me, it is. I'm not one to just want to exercise by myself.
I'm not a self-motivator either, so that would be hard.
I know, and having people there, and you know, they say, well, so where were you? Where were you? But no, and just the different games that they play, different things go on. There's just always something. Book club, which I was involved in that for a while. I'm not during this period, but there is anything you want to do and there was a golf, there might be more golf outings now, because we have a lot of younger people where we could all be outside and see our friends, different food trucks, and coming in we could pick out I forgot to put mine out tonight. Yeah, I forgot to put mine out for all 8 up. All 8. No, I put mine out for fish fry. But they brought the food to you. You circle if you want it. Lay it in your door.
It's exciting.
And there's just been so many things. And the parades they've had, and the car parades around that came from the churches around it's just, I don't know. It was good, because we need that little perk, you know?
Right. It's the little things, and we've learned during COVID, it's all about the little things.
It's all about the little things. It's all
So Berkeley's known for events, whether it's a monthly happy hour, monthly buffet, resident appreciation. I'm going to quiz you. In your 10 years, what events really stand out to you or meant a lot to you to go to at Berkeley?
Let me think. I did enjoy anything that was in the Theobald room, whether it be a Mardi Gras, where we were you see more of the residents together that way. And I'm a circulator. I'd like to go around and see everybody. The residents' appreciation, both even at 4th of July, you'd have that, and residents were invited outside, and you brought food. I think the things I liked the most were anything that brought a bigger group of us together, so I could see everybody, because this is like a pretty big place, and not everybody gets out to do things, not capable maybe, or not interested, which is fine. Everybody moves here for their own reasons. But those things I enjoyed, because it was just like seeing my friends and, catching up with them, and I love it, yeah. And the coach house is another thing too. that's a real plus, because people meet there sometimes, different groups for cocktail hour or just for dinner and entertainment, and the meals they have with wine, it's, and all that. I forgot what you call that. You pay for it as a one price. But no, I mean, honestly, other than that, I just like everything, but that would probably rank highest for me.
I said to one of the residents that lived here, what I learned, one of my biggest lessons in COVID is that life really is meant to be lived together. And these activities we took for granted so many times, life is meant to be lived together.
Yeah.
What were you surprised about after moving in? Was there anything that you were like, oh, I really love this. I didn't expect this.
Good thing you said that. Now, I wish I could come to mind quickly, but I can't. But I was thinking about things I was doing for myself, even like pulling weeds, for instance, that I hated to do, and I thought I don't want to do that anymore. And I found out, I could just do a work order and they will come do it. Or anything that's like, I've always been active, but later years I've fallen. But things I might have in my garage, high up box. I have Christmas decoration boxes in my garage on shelves. And they said, don't try to do that yourself, knowing elderly, I don't like that, but and I was a person, one time a box it didn't hurt me. I thought, this is stupid. So I just put in a work order, and sure enough, one of the maintenance guys came. It didn't take long, but I thought, this is crazy. This is why I'm living here, as I'm getting all these helps. I don't have a man anymore. So I wouldn't say it's a surprise, and it's also a pleasant surprise, because just to know that I'm here, and I know things that happen with my Jimmy, like Rika, she's everybody. There's somebody here to help you, and that's what I like, especially living alone as a widow. It's great to know that I'm not alone. If I just have to ask. Sometimes, they don't know I'm physically, I look okay, but that's the best thing, I think.
Describe your life at Berkeley Square in one word.
As I said, it's my life, my whole life. My life. Everything here is my life. And in fact, I have friends outside, of course, but majority of my life before COVID was involved with things at Berkeley, whether it be exercise, just anything I did was at Berkeley. Anything I wanted to do, things I wanted to do, and I just was too tired because I did too much.
And things you didn't even know you wanted to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that really, Berkeley is my life now.
You touched on trips and travel, which is exclusive to Berkeley Square within 100 miles. No one has that if they're watching.
Oh.
Nancy Fetters leads that, and it's been such a blessing I hear more about that. And in fact, that's open to the community. You don't have to be a resident.
Right.
We do allow people to come with us to taste the life. What trip has been really, really fun for you?
Well, the ones that I've gone on a lot, but the one that really the most fun we had is when we went to New York City for 5 days. It was just so much. I think even Nancy Fetters said this. It was with Nancy and a group on a bus, and it was fantastic because we got to see Broadway shows. What is it, Miss Dolly? Hello, Dolly, with Bette Midler, and I forget another one, but I see Broadway shows here in Cincinnati, and being with the group, it was just, and everything's organized. Nancy Fetters is the best. No matter what we do, we love having Nancy because she makes things fun all the time.
She really is special.
She makes things fun, and I don't know what we'd do without her.
One thing I wish everyone knew about Berkeley Square is...
It's not just old people. It might be older people, but young at heart. Because
so
they are, that's why I'm sorry my husband felt that way. It's just a perception that a lot of people, I'm sorry to say, have. I don't want to move there, it's old people. Well,
it's not to come
people
to slow
eventually
down.
Get old, but there are young people come in. Now I'm thinking, I'm one of those old people they're probably thinking about, it's people need to experience something where they could see just how how the residents are treated, how we're taken care of, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can just be yourself, have fun, and there's just no worry about it.
Yeah, I love your video, Pat. And we're not professionals, my family, my new friends on the Zoom, but I can't tell you how sweet her story is. And I know she's going to stay on the call if you have questions for her, especially you guys just coming in, thinking about coming in. I know when I hear her talk about her friendships here, the staff and the neighbors, it just melts my heart. So our next phase, and I promise it won't be super long, staying connected through COVID, reconnecting and reopening plans. I do want to introduce Jon Frost to talk a little bit about this. Go to the next slide. Are you on unmute, Jon?
I am.
I want to introduce you to my new Zoom friend. You want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. There are some faces on here that I definitely know, like Kim. You were talking about missing the exercise classes. Kim, I miss seeing you in our exercise classes so much. And there are some people in there that I know that they don't know I know. Jennifer, my wife Monique, wanted to tell you hello. So you work with Monique, so she wanted to tell you hello. Yes, but hello, everybody.
Jon, so before we get into the belly of programs, activities, and COVID, I want you to share with everyone, if you don't mind, how long you've been with this company, your background. I know that you've evolved, like many, their current residents on our call. They might want to hear a little bit about that role transition, and then just for giggles, what you love to do.
So I've been here for 7 years and 4 months. Yeah, started in November of 2012. So yeah, or 2012. Yeah, so 7 years, and I've loved it ever since. I started off coming out of college as a personal trainer, and I really wanted to kind of work with athletes, and I actually got put with someone who was 75 years old on accident. And it was kind of interesting because of all the people that I worked with, it was one day, her name was Bonnie, and Bonnie hadn't run or jogged in 20 years. And we were exercising and we did something, and it was just a brisk pace that she got to, and she felt like she was running, and she looked at me and started crying. And she said, I haven't run in 20 years. I can't believe I just did that. And for me, I just knew that this was the population I was meant to work with. To see that kind of joy in her eyes, it was just kind of over for me for there. So I kind of, I was fortunate enough to get a job here, starting off at Elements as a wellness specialist. And from there, it just kind of grew. I've grown in the company, and now I am the director of resident lifestyle. So it has been quite a journey.
And your favorite thing to do with Monique, like what do you all do for fun?
We love to walk and travel. Next week, we're going to Phoenix. And we are going to go to the Grand Canyon, and we're going to go to Sedona and Scottsdale. And we are just really excited just to be able to go travel and do some walking. So we love to just do a lot of walking and traveling.
You are so cute. As the director of lifestyle services, do you want to talk a few seconds about your team, and for those listening, your vision, your goals?
So I've been blessed with one of the greatest teams that anybody could ever ask for. The one thing that I have learned is that it takes a special person to care for people more than you care for yourself. And we've had a couple of people who have worked here, and they've been really good at the job, but that's just been that one part they're missing, is showing that care for others that kind of almost trumps really their own desire. And I have been blessed with Nancy Fetters, Lori Belisario, Pat Bellman, Josie Rader, Hillary Swift, Sandy Ratliff. I've just been blessed with the most amazing staff of people who I know is going to do whatever they can to make a resident happy. So Nancy, as you already heard Pat bragging on her, Nancy she is 99.9% perfect. Her only flaw is that she likes Notre Dame. If Nancy didn't like Notre Dame, then I think that Monique would have a run for her money. But that's the one thing that's really yeah, can't get past that. But you know, Nancy and the trips and travel, she has just taken that, I mean, into the upper stratosphere with just some of the things that she's done with the residents and her patience with them, and with everyone else, with Josie, with Hillary, with Lori, with Pat, with just being able to see them. I'm just so excited for the rest of the building after finally, when COVID starts to subside, for everyone to just see them more often as well.
I couldn't agree more. And I love listening to your enthusiasm for our residents and for your team. So let's get into the heart of what some people who don't live here yet, what they don't know. Pretend they know nothing. There are different types of programs, things to do here. Talk about, let's just go through each bullet. Want to? What I know that the social groups, support groups, clubs, the word clubs. Talk about that.
Well, I want to go back because you asked a question and I did not answer it. You asked me what's my vision for the lifestyle team. And for me, really, I just kind of, like I said, going back a little bit, it really is just helping people find shared interests with each other. It's about building a community. The one thing I have learned over my years is that all you need is just that one nugget of shared interest with someone. And it's just exciting to really get a chance to be in a position to help people start discovering those different areas that they share with other people in more ways that they can kind of grow. So back to the current question, our social groups, our support groups, and our clubs, right now, really, I mean, as you all know, we're in the midst of a pandemic, so a lot of our things are digital. A lot of our classes, like the social groups, we have a Bible study, but a lot of our Bible study is shown on our in-house network on TV. That is on our Touchdown network. So it's not really meeting all together, but it is through that. Support groups, we have a veterans group run by Mr. Bill Dersh. We have an Alzheimer's group support group. We have an ALS support group. And really, if you need support, you let me know and I'll make that group for you. I mean, it really is, even if it's just two people talking to another person that's sharing or kind of going through what you're going through, does amazing things for you. So really, the sky's the limit. There's no limit on what we can kind of start.
I agree. So there are, and when he talks about that, you all, my sidebar would be club-wise, we play a lot of cards. If you love bridge, it's here. If you are somebody that wants to play euchre, Jon can help you get plugged in and start a euchre private group. Like, the fellowship factor is something you need to understand. The heartbeat of Berkeley Square is not the new house or where you live, as you know, we love your houses. But as I hope you're reading into Jon and everything we're sharing, the fellowship of the people in these clubs, groups, trips and travel just are what is special, truly special about Berkeley Square. I know you talked about Nancy. Do you want to add anything? I think a lot on this call would love to hear about the future of trips and travel. Do you have any like sweet highlights that we can all look forward to?
Yes. So one of the best days of 2021 thus far was the day where Nancy Fetters came to me with her big Nancy Fetters smile, and she said that the Reds are going to have opening day. And she was so excited. She talked about that email, and we are proved that we are going to have our Reds game. We are actually going to go to a Reds game towards the end of May, I believe it is. And that's really going to be the jump off to our trips and travel program going into 2021. We have not gone on a trips and travel trip since February 2020, I want to say. So it's been over a year. So we are really excited. And Nancy's also working on a partnership. We've already had this partnership with Provident Travel but she has a long list of different trips that they're going to be doing, going into things such as riverboat cruises. I think that we're going to be doing some Aeronaut trips. So she has a lot of exciting things upcoming. So yes, Trips and Travel is alive and well, and it will be really getting going again coming in May.
Oh, I think every resident that's plugged into this call is probably grinning and yelling and jumping up and down. Hey, so I want to make sure I'm watching our time. Activities on campus. So this bullet could be 1,000 hours, but I know, Jon, holiday events. If I love to paint, educational opportunities. I want you to talk, if you don't mind, or just share a few tidbits of what you've seen. I've heard, especially at Berkeley, we have a young lady that teaches, who lives here, that teaches watercolor that Pat got to join. Talk about those kind of holiday events, painting, and education.
Yes. So, as far as like different holiday events or painting, like I think you kind of hit on it, but Josie. So Josie is certified in OMA, is Opening Minds Through Art, and it is an amazing program that really helps our residents here who may be suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. It helps them kind of express themselves in ways through art if they can't express themselves verbally. And from that, she is really looking at kind of expanding that into almost an arts club for the outdoor residents and for the indoor residents. So that is one thing that's really exciting going forward. Also, as far as education, we have a partnership. We kind of partner, it hasn't been that much this year with COVID, but with Miami University for their ILR classes. Where basically from there, we can sometimes offer different courses that are here, or we will promote different courses that they're having at different facilities across Butler County. So that is another thing that we do here. And we are really looking forward to getting our what is it called? The Yankee room for the wood. I think that we are looking at getting that back up and going as well. So there's a lot of different things as far as education and activities that's coming down the pipe that's really exciting.
For you listening, we have a Yankee wood shop on property that has woodworking equipment. We were able to make 22 picnic tables. The men of Berkeley Square made those for River's Edge. A lot of people don't realize that, but some people were able to cut, some people were able to sand, and we were able to contribute to the community, and that really serves a lot of great things. It was such a fun summer. Wellness activities in the pool. If you were to briefly talk about that wellness word, what do you want to say, Jon?
Ooh, as far as wellness goes, that word is really loaded because there's so many different levels as far as what we are working on to make sure that we are in a healthy state. But as far as here, we are really kind of in that phase right now where it's just exciting things to come. With the numbers going down in Butler County as far as the positivity rate, a lot of more things are going to start being able to open up for us. I don't have a definite date, but the Elements Wellness Center in the pool, it will be reopening in the near future. With the numbers going lower. So when that comes, we'll be able to kind of slowly step into opening up the gym, and then from there, opening up classes for the residents. So it's really a lot of great things that we have coming. And then let's just say looking forward beyond COVID, and it's actually a regular world again, we have we have yoga, we have a class called Classic, which is a range of motion class. We have our circuit classes, which is a little bit more of a faster paced class. We have cardio drumming. Neil Jackman is an amazing cardio drummer. He came to my class once. He's impressive. He's very impressive. And so, yeah, so there's a lot of different activities that we have.
Coach House, happy hour with friends, family dinners. Is there maybe one or two things you want to talk about that's all part of the lifestyle?
Yes. As far as the Coach House goes, that is, yes, the Coach House will be returning, but it's going to have a different kind of feel to it. I'm going to let Danielle kind of explain that a little bit more in the Q&A sessions. But as far as dining and everything, we actually have a food truck coming right at the middle of April. So that's really exciting. So that's one thing that we've kind of been able to do is have different food trucks. We've had to get creative. So for example, we partnered recently for one of our residents. Their church was doing a fundraiser. So we just partnered with All Laid Up, and they ordered the food, and then the whole entire activity staff, we delivered the food to all the residents outside. So that was a big success. Not to mention our fish fry that we're doing on Fridays. It's a partnership with Queen of Peace. So it's really the pandemic has challenged us to be more creative, but it's also allowed us to start seeing the residents more face to face in those events. So yes.
What's on the horizon for the future?
Ooh, for the future, it's just, I mean, mainly it's going to be just being able to laugh and see your friends again. That's, even if it wasn't a COVID time right now, I think that we should never lose sight of the power of social interaction. And that's really what our job is, in my opinion, is just to be able to get people to see people. Even if it's through a trips and travel, if it's through exercise, if it's through a book club, no matter what it is, to be able to have somebody that you can just find some type of common interest with, just, it gives your life purpose. And with purpose, it makes your life kind of feel like that next chapter is that much better.
Before we leave this slide, Jon, I just give so much kudos to you personally. Talk about the Santa shop during COVID and what you did.
So what we did with the Santa shop is that we took one of our fleet buses, and I took all the chairs, all the seating benches out of the bus, and we basically retrofitted it and made it into a mobile shopping center. A couple of companies, I believe Flourish and Made to Love. It was Sarah's House, I believe too. There were a couple of local companies that actually let us sell some of their product inside of the Santa shop bus. And the best part about it though, really, was seeing the residents kind of go through and see different things that they were going to buy for other residents. But then you would see other residents come in and they would look at the exact same things that resident was going to buy for them. So sometimes Nancy would have to steer them to not buy that so that they wouldn't have two of the same thing. So it was amazing how different people knew other people so well. They would go, "Oh, I think so-and-so would like that scarf." And then so-and-so comes in, they go, "Oh, I like that scarf." And then Nancy would go, "You don't want that scarf." But so it was just really, it was fun to kind of interact with the residents that way.
I love that so very much. And it really, I think it speaks volumes to our activity team to think of something so creative. And Jon, driving that bus through the streets of Berkeley and allowing people afraid to shop during COVID or really being protective, a great way to get their daughter a card or an ornament. I just can't thank you enough personally to add that service for our residents, because I feel like the day comes and goes and the Santa shop is cute and the residents bought things. But let me tell you, sir, I will never forget all of you that put that on for them. It means the world on behalf of the residents that live here. So lastly, I want to ask you this in your own words. What makes Berkeley Square and Westover special?
Whenever someone asks me that question, I always say the same thing, and that is that when you do decide to kind of move into a new community, it is naturally going to be another chapter in your life. And I think, and I know that Westover and Berkeley, they're going to make that chapter the best chapter it can be. One of our members who comes to Elements outside of living here, she's a community member. She came to me one day, and I never forget it. She told me that seeing she said the residents at both facilities gave her hope that there's life after her 70s. So her parents, she said that when her parents turned 75, they just basically said, we're going to die. And they didn't leave the house anymore. She became their caretaker. They weren't necessarily sick, but their lack of movement made them sick. And when she came in and she would see a 95-year-old on the new step, or she would see a 92-year-old getting in her car and driving sometimes all the way to Columbus to go see a grandchild, she said, wow, you can keep living in your later years. And I think that that is what Berkeley and Westover shows that much more, is that just because you may be retired or just because it may be that other half of your life, it doesn't have to be a life that's slowing down. You can actually pick up and do more things in this juncture. So I think that that is really what Berkeley and Westover does, is that it opens those doors to be able to do even more than what you thought this chapter of your life was able to do for you.
I agree. Thank you so much. So I'll kind of wrap up our discussion, my time with Pat, my time with Jon, and we're going to open up for some questions at the end, but I'll close with just three things. I want to share with you my experience. I have been here 11 years, and I hope what you took away from this talk is it's not about the house or the property. It's about the people. And these neighbors, I have neighbors, residential neighbors that I wave to, but let me tell you about the feel. And when Jon says they're on these buses buying their neighbor an ornament and they're guiding them to a different scarf or ornament so they don't get the same one, people truly care about each other. And I know Pat can speak to that in her different, life happens. She had some issues she wouldn't mind sharing, but people are bringing casseroles. People are bringing you a card. It is a neighborly feel if you want to be part of that. That's if I were being, somebody asked me what makes it special. It's not the building. It's not the walking path. It's not the shiny penny. It's how you feel with your neighbors and how you get to explore life. Like it is a place to do things you didn't even know you wanted to do. You can learn more if this is your first time kind of plugging into our Zoom. We do have all of our websites, and I think Danielle's going to put those up a little bit later. All you have to do, if you're even curious about thinking about living here or asking questions, hey, I'm my neighbor, my mom, our communityfirstliving.org is a great place to start. On there, you're going to find 360 tours, all of the Zoom, the interview information, I think is going to be there. Pat's video, her recording is going to be on there. Everyone's journey is different. I'll leave you with that. And it's my job to help you learn about Berkeley Square and how that journey could be a good fit. So I thank you so much for joining.